Hello, we're at Battersea Arts Centre, ready to be deeply moved by art.
A poet once said that art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable.
So settle into your favourite chair and get ready to shout at the telly. It's Portrait Artist of the Year 2020.
Competing in today's heat are 6 professional artists: Titus Agbara, Christos Tsimaris, Paul Moyes, John Lloyd, Kelly Cairns, and Gavin McCullough.
I feel very privileged to have made it to the heat stage. It's a great opportunity to work with interesting artists who are at the top of their game.
And there are 3 amateur artists: Andy Armstrong, Teresa Butler, and Hannah Lockie.
When I'm nervous, I just tend to dance around. And I spent the last couple of days just dancing in the kitchen. But I think it paid off because I'm feeling a little more relaxed.
Today, 9 artists have just 4 hours to paint a celebrity sitter.
No. Art is a battle. Come on.
They will need confidence.
Yeah, in the bag.
And they'll have to impress our judges.
I do love the way he puts down paint, and I think we should expect something great.
All for the chance to win a £10,000 commission to paint legendary musician Nile Rodgers for the Royal Albert Hall.
So which of our artists has the passion
I'm standing back. I'm frightened of getting hit by a brush.
to make it through to the semi-final?
I see you're using a mirror.
The original mirror got broken on the way over.
Are you superstitious?
No. Oh, God, I never thought of that.
Oh, no, sorry, now I've blown it.
As the artists prepare for the day ahead, the judges remind themselves of the submissions.
We have 9 great self-portraits by 9 talented artists. Let's start with this one. Looks like a lot of energy went into painting this.
Yeah, I love the way her face is at an angle, the delicacy of the glasses, and then everything else so undone and absolutely convincing.
And she's really squashed into that frame, her head bursting out of the top.
The whole painting lives off the expression of the face, and the face is very well rendered.
They're so good at body language. There's such a refined way of painting.
Here's a tender scene.
Yeah, brilliant celebration of fatherhood.
I mean, his hand wrapped so protectively around her.
This is a fantastic submission. He really went for it with the washing.
The sodden smalls on the line pull it back from the cliff of sentimentality.
Exactly. It's almost like a passport photo, a really piercing sense of this person looking.
And to use that old cliche, nice, honest bit of painting.
I think is really clever about this picture. Everything's slightly on the slant. You often see it in films creating tension.
The flowers, the kind of mournful look, the love hearts. It is about unrequited love, isn't it?
Oh, Ty.
Wow, where did that come from?
Ty, do you need a hug?
Yes.
Always.
I love that beard. I think it's so beautifully painted.
But also that fantastically constructed cranium. You really can feel the bone under the skin and those beautifully rendered eyes.
It's a great little self-portrait.
It's like a huge bit of engineering, isn't it? A sort of tower built out of slabs of paint.
I think it's fantastic. The scale, it's over life size. We're seeing him from below. I think it works well.
Full of emotion, this one.
The way the paint is put on the face, there's a sensitivity to the touch, which makes the emotion.
Yeah, the composition is fantastic. And I love the fact that we've got a paintbrush in it.
And finally, slightly forlorn, sad-looking man.
But also, like he's just got off a boat.
Yeah, he's like a fisherman.
Yeah.
I love the expression. You can really sort of feel that furry old cap.
And then the way the paint is scraped across his anorak. He's a very competent painter.
Painter fisherman, we don't get many of those.
With canvases and artists primed for the day's work, it's time to introduce the sitters. Artist, your sitter is one of Scotland's most distinguished actors. He's as comfortable playing Edinburgh detective Rebus as he is a dwarf from Middle-earth. Please welcome Kenn Scott. Having started out with the Royal Shakespeare Company, Kenn Stott's 40-year career has earned him 3 BAFTA nominations, 2 Scottish BAFTA wins, and a Laurence Olivier Award. How do you feel about sitting here all day? We've got lines to rehearse.
I was astonished to hear that people bring phones and sandwiches, wallets. I'm here for you, you know. I try to do my best to stay alert and not fidget.
Okay, it's all right. Have you done it before?
I've done it before, a couple of times.
Was the artist happy with it?
The artist was happy, I'm glad to tell you.
Artists, your sitter today is a revered film director and writer. Life is Sweet, Abigail's Party, Secrets and Lies, Vera Drake, Peterloo. I could go on, so many wonderful films. Please welcome Mike Leigh.
Mike Leigh's ability to depict ordinary lives has gained him global recognition. Closer to home, his films have even earned him an OBE.
So this is your home for the next few hours. You good at sitting still?
Yes, absolutely. No problem at all. Yeah.
Had a portrait painted before?
I have. In fact, I'm in the National Portrait Gallery.
Oh, well, there you go. No pressure, everybody.
Yeah.
Artists, your sitter played Anne Boleyn in the Royal Shakespeare Company's production of Hilary Mantel's Wolf Hall and Bring Up the Bodies. So she'll be looking for a Holbein among one of you. Please welcome Lydia Leonard. Lydia has been nominated for a Tony Award for her work in the theatre and mesmerised audiences of up to 5 million with her role in Gentleman Jack. Well, here you aren't playing a part at all. How does that feel?
Quite scary. As actors, we're used to having a little bit of control about how you're perceived. And today, of course, that's
up to them.
Up to these, yeah.
How would you like her to sit?
Maybe something not too kind of symmetrical. That's lovely, like the line of you there. That's perfect.
Is this good for you?
Yeah, maybe sort of looking off into the middle.
Yeah. So if I go just to that side of your canvas.
Yeah, that would be absolutely smashing.
Is that good? Where you're standing?
Yeah.
You may have to stand somewhere else.
Oh, no, I should say, I had a sneezing fit yesterday, and I got a bloodshot eye.
Right.
So I thought the only way around this is if I point my face this way and look to you. Would that be okay with you?
We want to make sure that you're not going to be moving. Are you comfortable with
I'm
that?
comfortable with that.
OK, Ken, ready.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Artists, it's time to embrace your inner competitor.
You have 4 hours to complete your portraits. Your time starts now. While artists can't choose who they're painting today, there's always a chance that we might have presented them with their dream sitter.
I think it helps that I'm a fan of his work. Mike's got a lot of wisdom in his eyes, so I can imagine all the thoughts going through his head. So that's going to help me get into the painting, hopefully.
Paul Moyes is from Kent and has shown at the BP exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery. His skill at capturing a likeness comes from learning how to exaggerate key features.
Paul, I understand you started out as a caricaturist.
Yes, I've been doing caricatures since I was 10 years old. Painting portraits is just an extension of that.
When you look at a subject, is your mind working on those principles?
Caricature is a portrait times 100. Over the years, I've had to teach myself to pull back, but it helps with personality. So the pose, the look in the eyes and everything.
Well, lovely start.
Thank you.
Andy, how are you getting on?
It's so much easier at home, isn't it?
Oh, well, I know.
To my hands like this.
But you're a good artist, you'll be all right.
Thank you.
Andy Armstrong is an amateur artist from West Sussex. She likes the face of her sitter to be animated in order to capture personality.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the expression that I caught. Kenn, it's exactly what I wanted.
Which is what?
A characterful face, quite a lot of wrinkles. And I'm not saying that Kenn's wrinkly, but he's
got a characterful face.
He's got
absolutely.
a characterful face.
Yeah.
He's just a dream.
You're a dream, Kenn.
Fair enough.
Now that's discipline. He's not even moving his
No.
mouth to speak.
He's great.
Even if artists are used to a particular medium or scale, the time restrictions of the heat could make them rethink their strategy. Why have you got such a huge board?
Drawing works a lot quicker for me than painting. So I thought, okay, well, I can afford to work a bit larger.
Definitely not paint, like your submission.
Well, that painting took me about 60 hours.
So you have to be
with the oil
tactical.
paint, yeah.
Gavin McCullough is from Meath on the east coast of Ireland. He trained as an aeronautical engineer, and his interest in the way things are constructed extends to his art.
With paint, we saw you applying blocks of sculptural colour, but here it's much more about the shading.
Yeah, but later on I'm going to define those contours, like define the shape a bit better. That's definitely going to be quite a pronounced line when I'm done. Just a kind of an arch above the eyebrows. And here there's quite an interesting kind of curve around the chink bone. And, I mean, I used to do a bit of sculpture, so the portraits I do, they look quite sculptural, quite 3D.
Well, we should be watching all day. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
That's a great likeness already.
Is it?
Yeah, that is definitely him.
Yeah.
You don't think so? We're gonna fall out over this.
I need to go back.
That's him.
Yeah, he's getting, yeah.
Christos Simaris is originally from Kozani in Greece. Though he studied to be an artist, he also trained in construction to pay the bills. And those transferable skills may come in handy today.
How come you got so many building tools?
These are scrapers to remove paint. I will use it if I'm not happy with the way things are going. Because sometimes you make something like the nose is in the wrong place and you just can't fix it. And that's when you scrape it, destroy it, and then you can just see it a bit clearer.
Is it a series of triumphs and disasters?
It's always a disaster. Yes.
It's always a disaster,
Yeah.
okay.
I nearly broke my knuckle last night when I had a temper tantrum.
What set you off? It wasn't a TV presenter, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, good.
No. One of my portraits, I punched it. I just wanted to smash it.
Well, I'm intrigued now. Good luck.
Thank you.
The artists have just over 3 hours left.
I think I got myself off to a head start with the sketch. I think I got the sketch right. I think the main problem is trying to get the look in his eyes, because you sort of see into the personality through his eyes.
I'm trying to get likeness and personality. I think they go hand in hand, so hopefully I'll be able to manage it. Yeah, in the bag.
My art is more expressionistic in a way. I don't want to do something really boring. I hate losing. I'm here to win it, or I'll be really stroppy.
We're at Battersea Arts Centre, where Kenn Scott, Lydia Leonard and Mike Lee have been sitting for artists for an hour. Unless they're at art college, most of these artists work in isolation. And while some may feel exposed here today, others are revelling in it.
It's just a lovely atmosphere, sharing different views. You learned from me, I learned from you. We share ideas together. That's why I'm here today.
Titus Agbara is an NHS healthcare assistant from Manchester via Nigeria. In 2014, he painted Game of Thrones actor Maisie Williams, using his trademark palette knife, but is always pushing himself to evolve as an artist.
Titus, you've done portrait artists before.
Yes.
Are you going to change your approach?
Yeah, I have to do something different from the usual.
Right.
And deliberately use something unfinished. Perhaps it's some drip of color to suggest not fully painting the whole image.
I see. Because you know what Kathleen, Kate, Ty said about your work.
Emotionally, I do paint the way I just want it to flow, not based on what the judge is saying.
Okay, you're doing it for you?
Yeah.
Great. I'll let you get on.
Following your instincts is one way to approach painting, but that doesn't work for everyone.
I try to have an image of the finished painting in my mind. So when I see this person and this setting, I will try to imagine the end piece, because if you don't know where you're going, you won't get there, basically.
Teresa Butler is a community development worker from Dublin. She likes to fill a frame with a sitter, a composition she achieves by simplifying shapes on her mobile.
Teresa, can I say, I thought you were looking at a broken phone, and then I've just realised that that shattered image is actually a black and white image.
I always do that. Composition to me is everything. I use the smartphone to compose. That helps me decide, is this an interesting way to have shapes in the rectangle?
Yeah.
Like the way that the head is going off at the top.
So you're quite pleased to crop?
Yes, it's uncompromising. It forces your eye up to it, I think.
Yeah.
This is, I think.
No, I just love hearing you talk about composition in a very abstract sense.
Yes, I had to really work to get the technique. Actually, maybe it's good because it'll kind of make me fight through it now.
Art is a battle. Come on.
Kelly, looking at those preparatory studies, I can see that you weren't really searching for lightness. It's much more to do with composition.
Yeah.
Lydia's got an incredibly delicate head, but you've made her quite monumental.
I really want to try and get an emotion in there. So I want to really focus on her very fine details of her face.
Kelly Cairns is an artist from Aberdeen. She likes to create an emotional impact in her portraits, which she achieves partly by using one specific foundation colour.
Do you always start with the blues?
I do favour blues, but I just think she has a lot of these turquoisey tones under the milky skin layers. The way I kind of see a painting is almost like a kind of wedding cake, where you start with the content, a very simple oil underpainting, and then just build it up and build it up. And then I'm going to do the marzipan shortly.
And what element is the marzipan then?
Putting all the gorgeous colours on. So
You look like a bit
the...
of a wedding cake as well.
To be on top of the wedding cake.
In each heat, the backdrops pay tribute to a different artist.
Ty, which artist are we celebrating today?
We're celebrating Barbara Hepworth, and actually we're celebrating the materials she used in her sculptures. So here we have the verdigris you get on weathered bronze. In another section, we've got the marble that she used, and in the final section, we've got a beautiful sort of darker coloured wood that often made an appearance in her sculptures.
The dark green behind Lydia seems to be set off her face rather beautifully.
Yeah, but she's got a very mobile face. You can see there's a lot going on in there.
Helpful for the artist, I
For some artists. I mean, I don't like my sitters to move an inch. I'm hoping Lydia's giving the artist enough personality, but at the same time, giving them enough stillness to nail that likeness.
It's easier than I thought it'd be. I'm really enjoying it. Occasionally I'm finding it useful just to sit and talk to myself in a Scottish accent. Don't know why. It just fills the time for me and makes me feel like my face is more alive.
What do you make of Kenn as a sitter?
I think they've got an opportunity to really zone in on him here with this strong, intense, veined white marble behind him. And I think it offsets him very nicely.
Such a characteristic actor. It's a matter of whether they'll catch that or not.
We want to see character in the paintings of Kenn today, definitely.
I have an obligation to help the artist by delivering a character. If I'm not here for them, then it's just a lump of flesh. And that's more difficult than you might think, because I started with an attitude, and after a while you forget what that attitude was.
Mike, of course, is a film director and used to being the one observing.
I think he's a little bit frustrated because in an ideal world, I think he would be talking to them non-stop. But he's also been very respectful of their creative process, from keeping quiet, letting them get on with it.
I think I'm done all right. I haven't twitched. I've farted occasionally, but they can't tell that. And, you know, proof of the pudding will be in the eating.
Thank you. Do we need a shot of him farting?
Want a shot of me farting? We could arrange it. I'll give you a clue. It's the one time I moved.
Making mistakes in portraiture is par for the course, but knowing how to preempt them is the mark of a good artist.
My tendency when I'm painting someone is they always end up older for some reason, so I think I need to work on getting the colours right, and so that's my priority.
Hannah Lockie is a 17-year-old A-level student from Staffordshire. Her portraits begin with a detailed charcoal sketch, which she then paints over in oils.
Hi, Hannah. You've got this lovely autumnal palette at the moment, all of these browns and ochres.
Yeah.
Do you see it staying?
It's definitely going to change, because right now it just looks really dark. So I'm going to think using more bolder yellows, maybe incorporating a bit of the green background as well.
I was going to ask you about the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a great background for her, isn't it? It
Yeah.
complements her skin and
It
the
does,
clothes
and
that she's
the
wearing.
red shirt.
Yeah, so do you think we'll see the red shirt and the green background?
I think so, definitely.
OK, so you're on a mission to lighten it up?
Yes.
OK, see how you get on.
Thank you very much.
John, you've chosen to go quite large.
I wanted to kind of capture him more. I get that effect more by doing a close-up. He's got such a character, you see, so he kind of paints himself.
Well, that's always helpful if a painting paints itself.
John Lloyd from Berkhamsted works in an art house cinema. He likes his paintings to be colourful and quirky, and the way he applies paint helps him achieve this.
I can see you're starting to lay on the blocks of colour.
Yeah, I use a lot of pinks and reds to start off with, and then near the later stages, you start getting the contrast and tones of the lights and darks. But at the moment, still trying to work out how the face is going to sit, but it's getting there.
And it's a beard. I mean, especially one that's so well groomed and so, you know, Van Dykean.
Yeah, very envious.
I mean, does that help?
It gives the sitter that added mystery, I guess, maybe.
Great, I'll leave you to it.
It was lovely chatting to you.
Oh, you too.
Almost 2 hours in, the artists are reaching the halfway point.
Very strange colours. Are you actually seeing these pinks and purples? You're looking at me very strangely.
Yeah, don't you? Don't you see it? Yeah, of course I did. Maybe I'm colourblind or something.
These aren't flesh tints.
I'm going to put some warmer later.
But you are responding to what is there.
I hope so.
If I put too much paint on, there's a danger that it's going to just become too muddy, and it's like putting peanut butter on top of margarine. It would just all become a big splurge.
I think I have a reasonable likeness, but it's very easy to lose it. If you overwork the painting, it loses life. So I'm going to try and keep the painting alive.
Mike Lee, Lydia Leonard and Kenn Scott have been sitting for 2 hours. And while artists wrestle with tricky elements at this crucial stage, the judges discuss how they're doing. Halfway through the day, how's it feeling, Kathleen?
It's feeling really good. We've got some fantastic paintings and we've got great sitters.
Mike Lee is the most wonderful sitter.
Yes, Paul's got a very good likeness. My issue is that you can see the caricaturist in him. You know, he's accentuated the slump. The nose is a bit larger than it should be.
Yeah, he's got to be careful he doesn't get a sort of sad Father Christmas in that chair. But I do love the way he puts down paint, and I think we should really expect something great.
There's a problem for me with both John and Teresa's work in the scale. You know, Mike is very compact.
Teresa very early on decided on this dynamic composition where the head is cut off, and I thought it looked very clumsy, but she stuck by it, and you do get a sense of space through the painting.
I think we have to just have a little bit of faith. Hopefully we'll get something as good as the submission.
OK. Lydia is a quite different kettle of fish. She's elegant and lovely to look at.
And serious. I think that all of the artists have managed to pick up on that.
What we liked about Kelly's self-portrait was the sensitivity of the touch.
I'm really pleased you went with the same blue under painting. It's really effective. And I really like the scale of it as well.
Now, what about our friend Kenn Scott?
All three artists in Kenn's section have really picked up on the weightiness of the head.
I think Christos has really captured Kenn extraordinarily well. And there's two macho men. There's some energy, but I think it's making a very good portrait.
Titus has given Kenn a slightly more delicate appearance.
It's quite hard to see delicacy and what I think is so exactly Kenn, which is that twinkle in his eye.
I think I'm always quite struck by his nose. I'm going to go look harder for the twinkle.
He's got a substantial nose.
Yeah.
He's got a substantial twinkle as well.
But you obviously know another side to him, Joan.
Well, perhaps I do.
I'm used to working with crowds, people gawping. These things don't faze me. It's awful to see three artists under the cosh, but I'm enjoying it. If I could just move for a moment. Yeah, that's better.
Whilst I look as though I've been gazing abstractly into the middle distance, I've been clocking people, and you've had a real great collection of very drawable people, far more drawable than myself or my colleagues, I would suggest.
I'm wearing my grandmother's shirt. She was a very good painter. My sister's a good painter. I don't paint at all. I'd love to be able to paint. It's like a superpower.
As well as traditional brushes or palette knives, artists will use anything from their fingers to syringes to achieve the exact effect they're after.
I got in syringe here so I could infuse that heavy wash of ultramarine blue horizontally down, suggesting the shirt, and I think that will be okay for the painting.
Sometimes it gets a bit soft focus, so I use the end of the paintbrush to kind of define the lines so it lifts off a bit of paint for me, just keeps it fresh.
I'm standing back. I'm frightened of getting hit by a brush.
Christos, you've dragged across the surface.
Yeah.
It's much more sketchy. We see the underpainting more.
Yeah. So I scraped that to remove the excess paint. It sort of blends the colors together to make it a bit more interesting.
And so you're happy to leave it?
I think I am,
Great.
yes.
Yeah.
After staring at a painting for several hours, it's easy to lose perspective. But where most people try to get a bit of distance, some can't get close enough.
Gavin, are you on your way to the opera? Tell me about these.
I actually prefer to be kind of fairly close up when I'm doing a portrait. I need the binoculars to get the smaller details here around the eye and that.
So you're looking for that level of precision?
At the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Teresa, and I see you're using a mirror.
I use a mirror to distance myself from the subject. And it forces you then to see the thing more truly. The original mirror got broken on the way over. I'm coming over from Ireland, so
Are you superstitious?
no. Oh, God, I never thought of that.
Oh, no, sorry, now I've flown. You're
No,
Irish.
I'm not in the least bit superstitious. I'm not
Surely
in
you're
the least-
superstitious.
No,
Irish
no.
people are famously superstitious.
No,
My parents...
I am.
I'm superstitious.
Right, well, there you see. So he's going to get the bad luck.
Oh, yeah, OK.
No, you're fine. He'll take it all.
The artists have half an hour left to finish their work. Your concentration is intense.
I think especially in an environment like this, you have to block things out. If you're getting stressed, then you're more likely to lose focus.
Well, on you go. Thank you, Paul.
I think it looks quite like him. I think I've reached an interesting stage now that I don't want to destroy it. Well, now we'll see.
I think she does look a bit old in what I painted, and if I had more time, I'd use cleaner, more vibrant colors that haven't been mixed too much. I think that would hopefully rescue it. It's just about doing what I can at this point.
At Battersea Arts Centre, the artists are adding their finishing touches to portraits of film director Mike Leigh and actors Lydia Leonard and Kenn Scott.
Goodness, John, the last time I passed, that was completely white, that background. That was fast.
I'm just going to get all the added little extra parts in. Hopefully I have enough time to do it.
Watch that drip over there, producing it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
I've suddenly started to get nervous. I think just because the time limit is absolute. This is the last few marks I'm going to get to make on this painting.
No, I'm under pressure. I've got a lot of work to do around the face still, and time's running away.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
I'm panicking now. Not much really you can do in 5 minutes.
Artists, your time is up.
Please put down your equipment and step away from your portraits.
Thank you for being so wonderful. You've been an absolute star.
Your ordeal is over. How has it felt?
You have to concentrate. You can't really afford to be absent because it transfers.
Now, your wife's an artist.
Yes,
So
she is.
presumably she's painted your portrait?
No, she has not. And I can assure you, she's going to now.
Well, now, this is the moment. Yes. Artists, turn round your easels.
Oh, wow. How can the three be so good? I can see me everywhere here. To deliver something like that in such a short time, this is extraordinary.
Oh, thank you.
This is close to what I thought it would be because there's passion in there. I love this. I really, really do. I think you've managed to capture when I was away somewhere. But that's not a bad place. That's great. It's great.
Well, now, it's the moment where you have to choose one.
Oh. And I think it'll be this one.
Oh. Thank you very much, Kenn.
You did it.
Well, they did it.
True. Do you enjoy the experience of sitting?
Yeah, people watching is my favourite thing, so I've had a great time.
Well, I don't think we should put the moment off any longer. Artists, please turn your easels.
Well, he doesn't look like a very happy fellow. They're all spectacular. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations. Very nice. Looks like me.
I hope so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you.
No, it's the same.
There's the painting and the likeness.
Okay, I'm glad.
Pretty nice, isn't it?
I would have liked to spend more time on it.
It's hard to work up against such a deadline.
It
isn't
is.
I like it, it's great. Yeah. What I love is the composition. It bleeds out into the corner, so there's a sense of space, and it's what I felt.
Thank you so much.
I really like it.
So now, a choice needs to be made.
You are putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
But I understand that it's the rules of the game, so I'm going to choose Paul's picture.
Artists, will you turn round your easels, please?
Wow. Oh, well done. Actually, I thought as I was sat here that perhaps I should have worn a simpler shirt, but luckily you got through it. Absolutely amazing. I think you've got my hair, my ear. I mean, I definitely think that looks like me, doesn't it? Beautiful. I love the colours.
Thank you. You're a great sitter.
Oh, good. Thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely. No, really inspiring. Thank you.
It's like a sculpture, the way it's sort of carved, but still soft.
That's totally accurate.
Oh, really?
I used to do a sculpture, yeah.
Oh, it's really, really brilliant.
Well, Lydia, this is your moment of choice.
Oh, gosh. They're all brilliant. I'm so impressed. I'm going to choose Kelly's. Well done. Thank you.
As the artists compare notes on the experience, the judges examine what they've produced.
I like the fact that Teresa stuck with her signature style of pushing Mike's head high up into the canvas. But I find myself being drawn to this rather endearing little tummy here.
There's certainly a presence, and to find that in that very loose paint application, there's a kind of brilliance to it.
Yeah.
I love John's sense of colour, but I feel as if the figure is slightly floating.
Yeah, I don't know that the likeness is as strong as the others, but certainly he's caught his openness.
Paul got a fantastic likeness. We do get the sense of Mike sliding down his chair and that sort of tired look. My problem is I can still feel the roots in caricature.
I think he's much closer to the old masters in a way, and the beautiful skin tones here. I think it's a contender.
I like the way Titus has placed Kenn. It gives you a sense of distance. But I do have a problem with these hands hurriedly blocked in.
Yeah, I think even though I'm not mad on the drips, I love the face. Nothing really takes away from just how brilliantly he caught his eyes.
I love the way Christos started his portrait. The likeness was subtle, yet powerful.
And the way you've got all these sort of highlights bringing you into the centre of the face. It's a no-nonsense portrait. And you've got that bemused look in Kenn's eyes, but there's a sort of a flatness to it.
Yeah, but I do love this expression.
Gavin's captured the planes and the features really well, with energy and movement.
What happens here, we've got a beautiful head that sits nicely on the shoulders and then peters out, and that's a bit disappointing.
I think Kelly's a really interesting artist. I like this.
Yeah, I think it's a rather beautiful portrait. It sort of has art historical echoes, and it's a nice head.
But I think there's a little bit too much blue left in the face. Hannah's a great young painter. There's a kind of liveliness to it.
I'm a bit troubled by the haggardness to Lydia, which certainly wasn't there. But Hannah isn't afraid of paint. She's happy to learn from mistakes, and I think you get that youthful energy.
Yeah, we've just done that here.
The judges must now narrow down the 9 artists to a short list of 3.
That is very powerful, isn't it?
I just
For its
fall
size, it
in
really
love
holds
with this standing in front of it here.
Yeah. I like this one too. Were you just about to say the opposite?
Yeah, I was finding that a bit... Should we
Can I
just mix it up a bit? Okay.
I still actually prefer these 3, but I don't know we get much range if we take both of those 2.
Can I put that one next to this one? Because,
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Which is more interesting?
I think this is more interesting.
I'm more interested
because
in
the
that
composition.
now.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That was
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, that was helpful.
Much more interesting.
Good shuffling around. That was really helpful.
Artists, your finished work gave the judges plenty to think about, and they've chosen a short list of 3. The first artist is Christos Tsimaris.
The second artist is Teresa Butler.
The third artist is Paul Moyes.
This experience is quite special for me. being able to just freely exchange ideas, the solidarity between artists. I came in here looking for more confidence in my work, and I think I definitely got that.
To help choose a winner, the judges look at today's paintings alongside the original submissions.
Well, judges, what strikes me right away is that they are all straightforward, gallery-worthy portraits.
I think this is probably the most consistent 6 we've ever had.
So let's look at Teresa's 2 paintings.
I do love this fantastic axis of energy that goes up there and then suddenly abruptly stops at the head. So it's a fantastic compositional device.
But what I love about the work is the fluidity of the paint on the surface. You get a lot of energy, a lot of richness in it.
Paul and Teresa both painting the same subject. It's very different, the way they've handled him.
Yeah, Paul has put together a beautifully composed, light-filled painting. I mean, it's a wonderful likeness.
But I would love to have seen the portrait of Mike worked up to the level of Paul's submission, actually.
I wouldn't. Really? Yes. I love Paul's submission, but it has that echo of what you might find in a great museum or gallery. And what Paul's been able to do today is show us that he can do that, but make it feel very, very contemporary.
Of all the self-portraits, Christos's makes the most sense now I've met him. But he certainly is full of emotion. His Kenn is full of vibrancy as well, isn't it?
But I think he's not looking at each feature. He's looking at it as a set of shapes and colours. And to get something that's so full of emotion out of approaching something in such an abstract manner makes the painting interesting.
But I think it comes out of what looked like a battle or a duel that he seemed to be having with the painting, with the kind of violent scraping.
I think he did capture his physicality. There was good flesh, good flesh on the face.
Makes his flesh look meaty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You've got to choose one now.
Yeah, I thought talking to you would make it a bit clearer, but it hasn't made it any clearer.
Teresa, Paul, Christos, being shortlisted in itself is an achievement. But of course, we know you have your sights set on the semi-final.
The artist that the judges have selected created a portrait that responded to the strength of personality of their sitter. And that artist is Christos Simoris.
I'm so happy. I had some people saying that my painting was better in the earlier stages and I was quite worried. So I'm so excited.
I thought Christos' portrait was great. The colours were good and the skin tones were treated very sensitively. And they got the likeness, which is the most important thing in the portrait.
Christos' painting was great. Really bold, confident strokes. I love the expression on it. So, yeah, he did a great job.
It's so exciting to find an artist like Christos. You know, his style is very uncompromising, even in his self-portrait. There he is, slap bang in the middle. He's taken Kenn on in exactly the same way, full of attitude. And that's what we loved about it today.
I'm not going to stop here. I'm here to win it. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I have to cancel my holiday, though.